Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Movie Mortis, where Movie Madness lives. I am Nick,
And I'm Drew.
and today we'll be talking about the 2025 action film Novocaine, starring Jack Quaid as Nathan Kane, a man with a rare medical condition which causes him to not feel any pain. And after his love interest gets kidnapped, he decides to go on a one-man journey to save his girlfriend.
Yeah, see, she gets kidnapped by bank robbers dressed as Santa.
Yeah. So
I
technically,
know it
this
sounds very random.
technically this could be a Christmas film.
I
But
was
anyway,
I was think I was thinking to myself before we like earlier today after I finished watching Novocaine, I was like, do you know what would be a great way to introduce this movie? Basically just talk about it as hey, it's a movie about a bunch of bank robbers dressed up as Santa who are getting pursued by a guy who can't feel any pain.
yep.
It sounds so random when you put it that way.
True. I saw this movie in the theaters the first time, and I loved it. It was an absolute blast. It was a whole lot of fun. It was a very nice action movie. Drew, this is your first time seeing it. What'd you think about it?
I remember when I finished watching it today, I was thinking to myself, God damn it, why didn't I see this in the theaters like I should have? Uh, but yeah, it's a fun movie. I kind of knew it was gonna be good because I'm a big fan of Jack Quaid, the lead actor. He's good in pretty much. I mostly know him from Scream 5, but I've seen him in a few other things.
Yeah, most
But
people.
he's most people know him from The Boys.
Yeah, I also know him from The Boys. And I can definitely, I can definitely see him do more action roles if he like gets like as long as he gets roles that allow him to expand his range, which I think would be pretty cool. I mean, I think we gotta address the elephant in the room of Jack Quaid's character, Nathan Kane, and his acting. So first of all, Jack Quaid is an amazing actor, and he was actually trained to like physically not react to like punches or anything. That after he got done filming this movie and went on to go do like season 4 or 5 of The Boys, there were times where the directors had to stop like filming The Boys because Jack Quaid like kept not reacting to like physical punches or anything because he was trained so well for Novocaine. So
That's
he had to
cool.
like forget that train just to film The Boys.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm not crazy about The Boys, just so any viewers don't get confused. So
I I saw
if Nick makes any references to The Boys, it'll go over just as well as his anime references for me.
don't worry, but I will make a reference to Die Hard, and because I want to talk about Nathan Kane as a character. So Nathan Kane, a lot of people were originally turned off by him because everyone's thought he was just a bumbling old fool, a bumbling old weak, and the only words I can put it, a weak beta male. But really, he's just an ordinary guy who's just overly cautious and overly protective, and he doesn't want to get into fights. He doesn't want to get hurt, but the fact that he actually feels some kind of love for this girl is what prompts him to just get out of his comfort zone and go after the girl. And mind you, he's in no condition or mindset or physique for that matter to like deal with this. Like you see him, yeah, he's scared, but like it's I really you just can't help but root for him. And be like, come on, man, you got this. You can do this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I think at the end of the film, he kind of he kind of still pull. I mean, probably at the finale where he's in the ambulance is where he finally decides, like, okay, I gotta lock in. Like, he's accepted. Yeah, I'm already in this ridiculous situation. It's time to be like an action hero, and it's just kind of cool that we because like I feel like in a lot of action movies, like again, Die Hard, they always have like some kind of military or police background, and so they've already dealt with this. But Nathan Kane, ordinary Joe, but he's not so ordinary because he has this medical condition that has a high mortality rate and has caused him to not like do a lot of things. He even says in the beginning of the film that he doesn't go out much. Sorry, am I yapping too much? You want to talk about Nathan Kane as a character?
Well, do you know what I was just thinking of? I was kind of reminded of this today. I think sometime when I want to say it was when I was in high school, we actually read an article about a real person who dealt with a similar disease where
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't feel pain. And so they had to be like, even the article was like, that sounds like a cool superpower, but it's like you have to be extra cautious because your pain receptors are supposed to let you know when something is wrong with your body. If you don't have that, you risk serious further injury if you get hurt.
Oh yeah.
And so I liked how this movie portrayed him as like, I liked that he was this overly cautious guy because it's like anybody with a similar genetical disorder would probably act in that similar way. And I think that I kind of grounded his character and made him a bit more believable.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to ask this: do you think the movie glorified his condition, or do you think it was just kind of they didn't really glorify it? They treated it as just a part of who he is.
I very much think that it was just part of who he is. I don't think
Yeah.
it glorifies anything. Like it's just
Yeah.
part of who he is.
Yeah, and the only upside is like he can keep taking punch after punch and everything, and I really like one part I really like in the movie. It's not my favorite scene, but like when he's fighting the tattoo parlor, like the guy's clearly more physically stronger than him, but
Hmm.
so and and even if he tries some weapons, he uses smashed glass to create like makeshift brass knuckles. Just getting, it's like yeah, it hurt. It's very painful, but he can't feel it, but. And it could cause him some kind of bleeding, but he needs that information. He's doing it for the girl, and he just gets creative to create like little glass brass knuckles.
Yeah, that's
So
something I also too wanted to comment on. I think this movie uses his disorder to kind of to really it takes this sort of disorder or this character trait that he has and kind of makes the action sequences creative because of that.
oh yeah,
Like that scene you were talking about where he made the glass brass knuckles sort of impromptu. Like that's something you probably couldn't do if he didn't have that disorder. Because
oh yeah,
if John McClane did that, he'd probably pass out from pain and shock.
shock. Oh
Whereas
absolutely.
with Nathan Kane, it's like you can do more things from a set piece standpoint, from an action set piece standpoint that you couldn't do in other action movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Another example of that is that scene where he breaks into that guy's house and he gets setting up all the booby traps and the guy comes
oh
back and he's basically like he's like I learned this in the army where like one of the bank robbers was torturing him and he's like faking being hurt just so that he could stall him enough just for the other guy to show up. Just for his
so
friend to show up.
that freaking scene, like that whole booby trap scene, it was both funny and oddly enough, in my opinion, the most gross. Like the most. I'm not squeamish, but like, do not eat when watching the fingernail removing scene. I don't recommend eating while watching that scene. Like, I'm only ever squeamish when I'm eating, but other than that, like. I love how like when he gets like hit with the ball, he's like, well that's weird, and then when the arrow goes through, he's like, oh you've got to be kidding me.
But like it's
Like,
just a minor inconvenience.
it is. It is. It is. And even like when the brother he kills the brother like by pushing the arrow all the way through his knee because he got him in a leg lock. He's like, wait a second, shoves the arrow and kills the guy. Like I feel like one thing I want to touch is that do you think this movie gets more gory as it progresses? Like it starts off with simple bullet shots and then you have like glass brass knuckles and freaking like scratching a guy with like ink tattoos and then of course the booby trap house where you have like fingernail removing, the knife going through his hand, and then the finale where spoilers viewer, he's in the ambulance, he breaks his thumb, relocates it, gets beat up some more, and then has his whole freaking hand freaking ripped off.
Mhm.
And then of course he stabs the guy with his bone. Like I think this movie just gets more gory as it progresses.
It does, but again, it's using the goriness and his sort of character trait with his disorder. Again, like when he breaks his thumb to get free of the handcuffs on the gurney.
Mm-hmm.
It's like again, you couldn't do that with John McClane or someone else unless they were on a shit ton of drugs or something.
Oh,
But
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because this again, they use this condition, like not only to make him more cautious and be a part of his character, but they just embrace the creativity of the action set pieces. They embrace the creativity, and it ups itself more and more, in my opinion. And is it gory? Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of part of the course of it. I mean, especially it feels like a more It's gonna sound weird. It was it's like a lot more. It's a more lighthearted John Wick. Like it's still action packed and gory, but like the main character isn't some brooding miserable guy. It's just an ordinary Joe who is trying to save his girlfriend and just being like, "Hey, I don't want to fight. Just tell me what I need to know." And all the bad guys are just like, "Nah, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah. And so, speaking of the girlfriend, what did you think of the character of Sherry?
Sherry was not you, Siri. That's the second time Siri's gone off. Sherry was very. Sherry was kind of cool. I mean, she definitely didn't come across as a typical damsel in line. I thought she was kind of a nice twist that she was actually in on the bank heist, but like she's just so tired of it. She doesn't want to do it anymore. You know, like especially because she got tired of her brother killing people.
Yeah, I also like that twist that when Nathan finally gets into the auto shop where they're hiding out, and she's like, yeah, and the bank robber's like, yeah, this woman you fell in love with is my sister. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I that kind of threw me for a loop, to be honest, because like you could tell earlier that they have some sort of like her and the bank robber have a past. They've been working together for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that that did kind of throw me for a loop in a good way that she
Mm-hmm.
was his sister, but at the same time she was sick of his shit. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was very sick of it, and I found it interesting how she actually genuinely fell in love with Nathan. Especially do you think she was always in love with Nathan, or the fact that he found out that Nathan was going after her, was that like when she was, "Oh, I love this guy."
I kind of have a feeling that she was always in love with him because it's like she had no when you think about it, it's like what reason does she have to
Mm-hmm.
fake romance, for lack of a better term, the assistant manager of the bank they're about to rob?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
what would be the incentive? I mean, they initially went after the regular manager,
Mm-hmm.
but then they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and also too, I think Amber Midthunder was a great choice for the role of Sherry as well.
Oh yeah.
So
She was
I
excellent.
mostly, yeah, I mostly know her. I haven't seen it, but I mostly know her for Prey,
Oh yeah,
the
the
Predator
Predator
prequel.
prequel.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
did
this
that.
is this is the first time I like knowingly watched a movie knowing it was her. But
Yeah.
I think she did a great job.
Oh, she was excellent. I think the whole. I just want to say shout out to the whole cast. Everyone bought their A game. Even the freaking everyone I think bought their A game into this movie. Like I liked wait, hang on. The guy's name is okay. Hear me out. Matt Walsh, not the political commentator, but there is an
Hmm.
actor called Matt Walsh. He plays the detective, the tired detective, and who works with the cop Mincy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I I like the one scene that stands out to me with that detective guy. They were standing outside the house, right?
right,
The booby trapped house. And he was like, they're in the middle of this super serious situation, right?
yeah.
And the guy was just like, oh man, all this because the fucking Chargers and the Clippers had to betray us. Like that was so random, but it was so funny.
Yeah. This
How
is,
about
sorry, you want to say something?
I was gonna say I also like that this movie takes place in San Diego because like that's not a movie like that's not a place where a lot of action movies tend to take place. Like with action movies, they love to set it in like big cities like Los
Los
Angeles or New
Angeles,
York
New
or something
York.
like that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's
San
like, but
Diego
it's like
is kind of a big city, but it's not as big as LA. It's more like a beachside city.
that's kind of my point is that they usually love to set their action movies in like the big cities like Los
Yeah.
Angeles or New York. But it's like I like that they picked a underrepresented city, even though I'm not from San Diego. But
I know some family
um,
in San Diego, but
and it's just nice to see a different city represented in an action movie. So
oh yeah. Oddly enough, the film was filmed in Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town, Africa.
I'm sure this is for like tax incentives and stuff,
Oh
but it's like
yeah,
I'll never understand. It's like if you're gonna set a movie in a specific place, why not just go to that place
I
to
know. I
film?
mean, they definitely had to do it for tax incentives, as they definitely did it for tax incentives. Because when you mention San Diego, it's like I've been to San Diego several times before in my life. This doesn't look anything like San Diego. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, the one movie I can think of where like they actually went and filmed like where the place was supposed to represent was probably the original Scream. But I'm sure
Mm,
there's others besides that, or I guess Jaws too, because it's supposed to be Martha's
yeah.
Vineyard area, and that's where they filmed. But it's like this happens especially with like modern movies. It's like either shoot it in the place where you're actually going to set the movie in,
Hmm.
or film it on a soundstage.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like,
one of
hey,
those two.
um, okay. I just learned that the movie Fargo was not filmed in freaking. Wait, hang. Oh no, that's the TV. Okay, never mind. No, the Fargo film was filmed in Minnesota. Wait, Minnesota or Minneapolis? Hang on, because I was gonna add Fargo to a list of films that take place in a city but
Well,
are not in that city.
Minneapolis is in Minnesota.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, movie was primarily filmed in Minnesota. Good. Okay, Fargo lived up to the name of being filmed in Minnesota and not like freaking South Africa or something. But the TV series, which the movie was based on, was filmed in Canada. But yeah, I had to do a double take because you mentioned like only Scream and freaking Scream was like the only non-major city location it was filmed. And I'm like, please Fargo, don't join the list. Please join Scream.
Well, I meant like in the place where they were filmed, where it was actually like the city that was supposed to take place in.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's kind of
that's
what
what
I
I
meant.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'm sure there's others. I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
yeah.
So,
But I think they definitely did it for tax reasons because unfortunately, I mean, the movie I don't know if it bombed per se, but like when this movie was out in theaters, a lot of the stores were like, oh, this movie's not doing well on opening weekend. I'm like, really? Because the movie the movie made okay. It made its hang on 18 because I know the unfortunate thing of box offices is that you got to make like twice your money back. Oh, it did not make its money back. It made. I mean, it still did pretty good relatively, but it didn't make double its money back. It made it on an $18 million budget. It made $34.2 million back, which not bad, but
it's not awful.
it's not
Yeah, it's not
awful.
awful, but it's because I'm assuming that 18 million is not accounting marketing cost, right?
Oh no, not at all. In fact, one of the marketing is that I think they actually had like a it's like little like punch things they have in arcades.
Yeah.
They have one themed of Novocaine, but the punching bag is Jack Quaid's head. Yeah,
That's funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I
Like
will say though, another strange example of movies. This is the last I'll talk about it, but
it's fine.
another strange example of movies not being filmed where they take place, and this is the most random one. So last year there was a reboot of a legacy sequel, another fucking legacy sequel of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which that
Hmm.
series is the first movie as well as that newer one is supposed to take place in Southport, North Carolina, I believe.
Hmm.
But for some reason they filmed it in Australia,
How
and you can
strange.
tell. And it's like, why would you film something that's supposed to take place in North Carolina in Australia? I don't care how good the tax incentives are. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you go? It's like, okay, we're gonna this place is supposed to represent like this East Coast fisherman town. Let's go to the land down under with the giant tarantulas and kangaroos. That's where we're gonna
Where
film
women glow and men plunder. Can't you hear the thunder?
it.
I don't know the rest. I forgot the rest of the song. I'm blanking out.
Anyways, back to Novocaine.
Yeah, back to Novocaine. Like I said, I wish this movie was more of a box office hit because honestly, imagine if they had the money for a sequel. Like, do you feel like they feel like? I mean, obviously Nathan Kane would have to get out of his peaceful life, but like they could have like I have a feeling I don't. I mean, if the directors want to make one movie and one movie only, that's fine. But if they wanted to make a sequel, do you think they would have gotten more crazy with like the action set pieces and everything?
Oh yeah, they would have had to. I
Oh
mean, what
yeah.
else could you? I mean, there's
I,
probably more that you could do with a guy who can't feel pain.
and
You know,
crazy as it sounds, how about a crossover with the Crank movies? I'm not trying to say turn Novocaine into a franchise, but it would be kind of cool.
what the hell are the Crank movies?
Crank, isn't that the movie where like the guy has like a poison and the only way he can survive is if he like has his heart rate going at a certain mile, so he gets himself in these like borderline and not in these absolutely dangerous situations.
This is the first time I'm hearing of that.
Hang on, are they called Crank? Okay, hang on. This is me being forgetful. Um, let me figure it out because I thought you might have known about them. Yeah, Crank of Jason Statham.
Oh, I think I remember that movie. Okay,
Yeah,
I've never seen it because a lot of Jason Statham movies are direct-to-video stuff, but still.
not the mechanic or the beekeeper or the working man, but I mean, okay. Jason Statham seems kind of unrelated to the podcast to this topic, but I also I actually thought about Jason Statham when I was thinking of like all the action heroes nowadays. Like, yeah, you got your classics like John McClane, John Rambo, and your modern stuff like John Wick or Jason Statham as well. But Nathan Kane, again, he's kind of a breath of fresh air because he's more of an ordinary Joe who just happens to have a condition that causes him which gives him the ability to take all these hits. And I want to talk about one of my actual favorite scene in this movie is probably the kitchen scene. I think it's a really well choreographed scene, and I love how Nathan Kane's just telling the guy, "Hey, look, I don't want to fight, okay?" And he's defending himself in like very funny ways, like he's in the cutting board as a shield, having the freaking like the hot pan like guard him while the guy burns his head. He's like, "Ooh, you might even put some aloe vera on that." Like he's trying to be as friendly as possible, but like the guy is just too pissed off to like give Nathan Kane the benefit of the doubt. Like when he like hits the flour, I was like, "You don't have a gluten allergy, do you? I'll kill you." And then of course where he finds the gun, and the guard thinks, "I can't use that gun, I'm gonna get burned." But Nathan Kane, because so he uses a knife, but Nathan Kane's just like, bird hand, don't care, pow. Like that was such a perfect way to end a fight, honestly.
That
Just like,
that is a very well done sequence. I really like that sequence as
yeah.
well.
I
That's so
actually
fun.
I even used that sequence in one of my sound design assignments because I had to like we had to like pull up three movie clips that had great sound design. I picked like No Country for Old Men, Whiplash, and the kitchen fight from Novocaine because it's just I want to talk about the sound design as well because screw it, this movie has great sound design. Like it probably won't get as noticed to the point where it gets nominated an Oscar like Black Hawk Down, but like for an act like again, you feel the sound design, the kitchen scene is also good, but even like the parts where like it gets gory, like the fingernail removing scene, the knife going through Nathan Kane's hand, and the freaking like trap house. That sounds wrong, but or when his like hand gets snapped and you hear that bone. Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I know I said the fingernail scene was like the goriest and heart stomach punching part, but the more I think about it, the freaking hand, like the more I keep thinking, like, oh, good lord, how is that even humanly possible?
No, now that you mentioned it, this is a movie that I really should have watched with my sound bar. God
Yeah.
damn it. Because I was just using my TV speakers, and I have a 4K TV. It's like the speakers are solid, but it's like they're not like a sound bar.
Well, when
Damn
we
it.
ever get around to doing Whiplash or No Country for Old Men, definitely use your soundbar.
Yeah, I still haven't opened it yet, even though I bought it like 2 years ago.
It's okay.
Anyways,
I mean, hey, if I can get my printer set up, you can get your freaking soundbar set up. I believe in you, Drew. Anyways, back to Novocaine, the man who can't feel pain. I'm in the wrong lane. Anyways, but yeah, Drew, I need to ask you, what was your favorite action scene in the whole movie? What was your favorite fight or action scene?
favorite fighter action scene. I don't know. There's a decent chunk to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the f- the fight that happens when what's the guy? I forget the guy's name, but Nathan's friend shows up to that one house as he's fake being tortured,
Oh
and they
yeah.
start fighting the dude. It's like I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, the trap house. I also like how I like how you get to know it. I know that one grunt is like very generic, but I like how you get to know him like after he's died. Like his house is pretty much his whole personality, which explains his violent tendencies and you know even his brother, even like his brother and the dad's back. She's like, we never knew our dad, you idiot. And it's just like they says like you're really going to his house. He practically Wile Coyote'd his house, or like he trapped his house like Wile freaking Coyote.
Yeah, I thought they set that up really well because it cuts from that one scene where he's like, "Come on, man, you trapped. You booby trapped that house like he's Wile E. Coyote," and then it cuts to, right after that scene, it cuts right to Nathan Kane going into the house and setting off all the booby traps.
I mean, it's even more. One thing because I forgot I didn't miss is like I like how he actually tries to be more cautious of traps, but like every time he thinks he's safe, there's always another trap waiting behind. It's like that fucking scene in The Simpsons where Sideshow Bob keeps stepping on the rakes.
It is like that. It is exactly like that.
But if Nathan Kane was probably in that situation, he'd just be like, well, "What the hell?" and just try and just keep going past the rakes while still getting hit by him.
Uh, like, and again, with the Sideshow Bob comparison, it's like Nathan Kane reacts to it like we were talking about earlier, like it was just a minor thing on top of another minor thing.
Yeah. I also like how he tries to talk the guy out of it too. Like before the fight builds up, he's like, "I'm just a random thief. I don't know this house. Why is your address on your hand?" Yeah.
Here's a question for you. What did you think about the use of slow motion in the action scenes?
Okay, so, I liked a couple of them, but I didn't like the very last one at the end with the ambulance. I don't know why, but like I like the part where Nathan Kane's like delivering the final blow with the glass knuckles. I'm gonna call them the glass knuckles because that's what they are. The glass knuckles like going straight into the tattoo guy's eyes because that's just like a finishing move right there, you know. Like that's just a finishing move right there. I like the knife throwing part because it's just like that build up. You think he's gonna catch it, you're like shing. It's like oh shit. And but the ambulance one I didn't really like because it just felt like I don't know, I just didn't feel anything. I mean, the only thing that the slow mo added was like the face reactions. You see them like opening their mouths wide like they're in a YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked most of the use of the slow motion personally. It kind of added to the this is going to sound strange, but to the theme park ride feel of the action scenes, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So I like that they included that, and it kind of built up. So like, I think there's that one scene where it's like you see like that glass knuckle scene where he goes in for the punch and it's slow motion. It kind of lets the audience, kind of builds up the audience anticipation of, oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh yeah.
So,
and like even afterwards the tattoo guy's like still suffering the pain, and again much like Ben Clark, the guy at the beginning, much like Ben Clark, the guy who he killed in the kitchen, he's just so pissed off. I was like, man, I don't want you guys. He was like, just tell me what I need to know, man. I won't hurt you any further. Like Nathan Kane is like that one guy who he clearly knows what he wants. He doesn't want peace. He's like, okay, just you asked for this. But like, and you can see him still suffering as well. So it's just like, oh yeah, that definitely hurt. And of course there was the slow motion knife scene where Roscoe throws it, and of course goes through his hands like, oh man, it's just like shit. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. No, it's okay, it's fine. It's like
because then he just punches the guy with the knife that comes sticking out of his hand.
Oh yeah, and he also like stabs it with him too. Like he's on the ground, he stabs in the foot with it. Like he just slams his hand down onto the guy's foot. And oh yeah, another thing too is like even when he's not like using his disability, like there's other moments too. Like again, where he's defending himself with a cutting board and just when like there's a wooden stake down and he's about to be elbowed by a tattoo guy, the stake goes straight into the tattoo guy's arm, just like because like not only is Nathan Kane using his disability, his medical condition, but like he's being resourceful. Like you see him like using like objects and just anything EpiPens to get him back to life. So even though Nathan Kane is not like, he's not action movie material. He's just a guy who works for a bank who's been isolated in his own home for his own safety. Like, he's able to be in that moment. Like, and I feel like that's what makes him kind of a hero. Like, here's the best way I can compare Nathan Kane to. You ever seen the TV show Jackie Chan Adventures?
Nope.
So some of our viewers may be familiar with it, but Jackie Chan Adventures, if some of our viewers remember, like, it was obviously a cartoon starring Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan in that movie, he wasn't portrayed as like some badass action hero. He was a huge goofball who hated violence, but he just happens to know martial arts. He happens to know martial arts, and that's how I feel like Nathan Kane. Like, he's kind of a goofball, shy guy who has a condition, but he throws himself into this like pulse, heart racing scenario. But he clearly has a drive, and you want to see him succeed because I feel like Nathan Kane's a genuinely good person, like morally. He definitely broke the law a bit, but he really did not want to hurt anyone. He's like the lawful good. He's a genuinely lawful good person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, and I kind of find it how funny how initially the police seemed to be more concerned with finding him rather than the bank robbers.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was definitely very funny. It's like, dude, what? Dude, he literally tells you, he's like, "Look, I just want." It's like, there's no way this guy's just gonna pick up his phone randomly. Nathan Kane, hello. like just a normal, every average Joe dude, and yeah, I did find it weird how the police thought he was in on it, and he even tells the police like the reason, you think of this average dude persona, he could have just gone to the police, but the fact that he knows all this medical stuff, like 75% of hostages die before the police can get to him, like the dude's just determined, he's motivated, and I think the scene. Tell me, what do you think about the scene where like the brother of Sherry says, "Hey, she was in on this, and she never actually liked you." What do you think about that? Just seeing him completely crushed, when he's holding the gun up. What do you think about that scene?
What did I think about the Tina Turner? Blah. What did I think about that scene in terms of like?
I want to say like in terms of just like how it affected. Do you think it affected the story well? Do you think it could have had an impactful? Do you think it impacted the characters in a way, or do you think like maybe Nathan could have handled it differently? Like, how do you think they handled that scene overall?
I mean, I think it was a well done scene. It's just that on one hand, like I kind of said earlier, the revelation that she was the sister of the what was like the head bank robber it threw me for a bit of a loop in a good way at first, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time that whole thing is kind of dropped anyways because she then goes after him after the guy gets back up and gets into the ambulance that Nathan Kane is in.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like if they just kind of threw it away almost.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the scene where like Nathan Kane finally gets to the car warehouse and he has the gun up to Sherry's brother, and Sherry's brother's like, "You actually think she's in love with you?" Like, he just completely crushes Nathan Kane's spirit.
Yeah, I like. I don't know the actor's name who plays the head bank robber, but I think that I like the way he's so. I like that he finds it so funny. If that
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense. Like I like that he finds it so funny. It's like, oh wait a minute, you guys have been dating for like a day, and it's like, and it's like, like what you
Yeah.
said. It's like you think she's actually in love with you, blah blah blah.
Yeah. And
But
I
like
yeah.
I kind of said earlier, I think that Sherry did genuinely find an attraction to him at the beginning. Like I don't
Mhm.
think it was a performance.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, in the bar scene too, which in the so I want to know what you thought of the bar scene where like Nathan Kane finds his school bullies, and then like Cherry like gives them like pure hot sauce where Nathan Kane doesn't react to it. The bulls are just like suffering too. It's
oh,
like
I loved that. Oh my God, I loved that. Just to see high school bullies suffer. Oh my
oh
God,
yeah. Yeah.
that's like I will always find that funny.
That is super funny too. What do you think of the romance? What do you think of the overall romance between Nathan and Sherry?
Well, I think it was effective. I think it was like I liked that they made it. they gave you enough time with them at the beginning to make you care about them when she gets taken hostage, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So, so I think they did enough to make you care. So
Oh yeah.
that's kind of what matters.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree, and I liked it too because it was definitely, I feel like I also think like Nathan and Sherry's like dynamic kind of come full circle at the end, because in the beginning he has that, because he spends so much time alone, he kind of tattoos himself, and by the end he has the girl helping the knight, because that's how Nathan sees Sherry. Because in the beginning, like, he's always consuming liquid foods because he's afraid to bite his tongue off, but like after eating cherry pie, essentially solid food, like one thing I missed on this is like when he's in that very happy mood, like he's feeling good about himself now after the date with Sherry. Like, instead of like putting a lemon in the freaking, I don't know if it was a lemon or something, like some kind of fruit in the freaking blender, he actually takes a bite of it. And even at the end where he eats the cherry pie, which, by the way, Cherry and Sherry,
Yeah.
the little I don't know why it's lip smack right there, but kind of a coincidence, just it's just like, that, Sherry essentially helped Nathan get out of his, like, cautious, I'm afraid of everything, I can't do this show, like, not just with the beginning of the date, but also just just kind of getting the whole movie going.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that romance was effective.
Yeah.
It affected both characters because
Mm-hmm.
Sherry, after getting out of the life with her bank robber brother,
Mm-hmm.
she's in prison at the end of the movie, but she has something to look forward to after she gets out in 6 months or however long it is.
Yep.
She's going to, because it affected both characters, because they, by the end of the movie, they both are to an extent living a more fulfilled life than they were at the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah,
So
they were.
and I like that little banter between at the end between Nathan Kane and that one prison guard.
The guard, dude, that guard was like a freaking, that guard really took his job seriously. He's like, that better not be an open flame over there. Hey, this is a strip club, like. And I like how Nathan's just like, okay, like, again, maybe I'm diving too deep into this movie, but like Nathan Kane always seems like that guy who'd always follow the rules and everything, but after meeting Sherry, he's just kind of telling the guard like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, what's that guard gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have anything more to say about Nathan and Sherry, or can I bring on this next topic?
You can bring on the next topic.
So, what did you think about Roscoe, played by Jacob Batalon, best known for Ned Leeds from the Marvel Spider-Man movies?
Which Marvel Spider-Man movies?
Tom Holland. I should have been more specific. MCU Tom Holland. He was Ned Leeds in those movies.
I could have sworn that guy was familiar. Like,
Yeah.
I could have sworn. Like, I know that guy from somewhere, but it's like, oh, he's from the MCU Spider-Man.
Yeah,
movies.
MCU
Okay.
Spider-Man, Ned Leeds, or as Reddit.
I loved his character in this movie, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
him and Roscoe and Nathan Kane's dynamic is so fun.
Oh yeah, because I like how they're just
also-
like online. Sorry,
I love how early on in the movie when Nathan Kane keeps like trying to contact Roscoe for information, and like when Roscoe texts him the address to the tattoo parlor, he's like, delete this message, I'm not going to jail for you. But I like how he comes in and helps at the end, and I like how this is kind of a little thing, but I like how when that one cop and that one female detective and Sherry get into the police car at the end, that Roscoe's sitting in the back of, and he's just like, what's going on? Are we in a high-speed chase or something? And they just shake off. I like how during the chase, he keeps like calling things out. He's like, hey, that one's over there. And eventually Sherry just turns to behind her and just goes, I see that. Thank you. He's like that annoying, literally backseat driver.
I know. And you know what's even funnier? Like, if you remember the beginning of the movie, like, Nathan Kane doesn't know what like Roscoe looks like in real life. Like he's always just been an online gaming buddy. So like, and Roscoe's always hyped himself up. He said, he's got girls and he's got like a Harley Davidson, and really all he has is a moped.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but like, and he hypes himself as like cool, my shit don't stink guy, but really he's kind of like Nathan Kane. That's he's timid and he doesn't want to be in a situation where Roscoe. I mean, he's still supportive of Nathan, whereas Nathan I think shows his real character by like actually going out and taking the hits, getting in these situations. Roscoe's just like like you said, like I'm not going. Delete this message. I am not going to jail for you, and just like
He also says on another scene that he's like, look, I will totally testify against you if I have to.
Yeah, Roscoe is very interesting. Yeah, Roscoe is just a very like I said, they have a great dynamic, and Roscoe just is clearly that cowardly like backseat driver kind of deal. It's like, I mean, you obviously said it best, man. I didn't mean to talk over you. Like I should have let you do the talking, especially. Drew, if you have anything to say about this movie, feel free to, because like this is your first time watching it. This is like my second time watching it. But the more I keep thinking about this movie, the more I'm like, man, for a simple action movie, there's actually a lot of substance going on in this film.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else about Roscoe, but then I forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I really admire his honesty though.
Yeah,
because again, like you said, he just admitted to Nathan Kane. He's like, yeah, I'll totally testify against you if I have to.
And Nathan Kane's just like, yeah, I understand that. I would have done the same.
Yeah.
They're such bros with like the same personality quirks. Whereas Nathan's not afraid to like get out there. Whereas I mean I feel like Roscoe's just like nope. Yeah. It's kind of funny how like they both have like they both kind of like their characters kind of like turn at the end of the movie, whereas Roscoe's just dorky and nerdy like Nathan, even though he kind of expresses himself as tough, cool as shit guy, whereas Nathan he's still that dorky guy, but like he kind of proves his own self by actually going on this whole adventure, like he becomes more out.
Yeah, what did you think of the scene between Nathan and Roscoe at the end when Nathan wakes up in the hospital and he's in like a full body cast and everything?
It was really nice, but it was really nice, but I really did not like the lighting on Roscoe. Like the whole scene was really cool, especially when the detective came and was like, "Oh yeah, normally you'd serve this bumps, but not only are you a white guy working a bank, but you have a really talkative witness," and Roscoe just gives a thumbs up. But my only negative is that like it's because I took a lighting class a couple semesters ago. The lighting on Roscoe, like, why is Nathan Kane more brightly lit, but Roscoe, like, you can barely see his face. Like, gonna be honest, like that's my only gripe to the scene. Like the lighting is just it's a minor nitpick, but it's still a nice scene that Roscoe is a bro till the end, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I also like that little bit of that tiny little bit of social commentary when the detective was like, yeah, normally you would, for all the crimes that you committed, normally it would be enough to lock you up until you're twice my age, but you're a white guy who works at a bank and you have a talkative witness, so you're only going to serve 6 months and 5 years probation.
and he also saved an officer's life too, which because. Yeah. I kind of wish, like, again, it was still a funny scene, but I kind of wish they also involved the other good things Nathan Kane did. Like, he saved that guy's shop from foreclosure. Granted, he said you're gonna need to launder that money, and of course, saving the cop by like giving him more time to live, stopping the bleeding and everything, because like. Another movie I'll come, because like it could have shown that it could have proved to the cops that Nathan is a morally good person, and he disobeyed the law, but again, he's a genuinely morally good, lawful good person who just wanted to save his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and,
he did.
When you can't really blame him when early on when the police are putting more resources in trying to find him rather than the actual bank robbers. So it's like at one point you can't really blame him.
That is true. Yes, that is absolutely true. In fact. Yeah. I mean, again, Nathan Kane. He's like, he doesn't seem like much, but he. I thought he was a very. Would you say he's a very entertaining action star, despite not fitting the stereotype mold of the normal action stars?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that's what I find endearing about Nathan Kane. He's like a dorky, you know, he's a dork. He's quirky and awkward, but his heart's in the right place, and the fact he's willing to go out of his way to deal with this life threatening such stuff is what, you know, really it shows it. He's an action star and not the traditional sense of masculinity, but willing to go of, you know, being tough and strong. But he's willing to do what a lot of he's willing to put his fears aside to go after to go to save his love. And again, if they made a sequel, he could be saving the whole freaking world.
Admittedly, throughout this whole movie, I couldn't not compare because, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I know Jack Quaid from Scream 5, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't not compare his character of Nathan Kane to his character of Richie in Scream 5 because in Scream 5, he kind of plays like the dorky but well-meaning boyfriend. So kind of similar to his character in this movie. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope, on a bit of a side note, I hope that Jack Quaid doesn't turn out like Chris Pratt in the sense where like he kind of plays the same character in every movie.
Oh my
So
gosh, Sam, I do not want him to get typecasted over and over again, man. Like,
yeah,
Jack Quaid has so much potential, and kind of a tangent, like, he's currently going to be an awkward Marvel character talking cube in the new God of War game, which honestly they should have marketed as a spin-off in my opinion, but that's for a different day. And just like, just like, Jack, I know you can do better than this. Please do other movies. Like, I believe in you, man. Like, and this is, first of all, I don't hate Jack Quaid as an actor. I think he's a great actor for what he does. Novocaine was great. He was great in The Boys. I when I get around to Scream 5, I look forward to it. In fact, I don't know if you agree with this, Drew, but a lot of people keep saying he'd make a great Max Payne. He's got the looks, but you know, just not so much the voice. What do you think about that?
it's an interesting comment. I don't know because one, I haven't played all the Max Payne games for one, and I don't know. It's one of those. I guess I'm gonna have to give a very indecisive answer for that because at the same time, well, I also don't think he. I'm not sure he really has the physical physique that
Mm.
Max Payne has, especially like because I don't know if you guys anybody has ever played the third Max Payne, but he's kind of a big guy in
Oh yeah,
Max
Max
Payne
Max Payne
3.
definitely
So
had a glow had like a glow up in Max Payne 3. But I guess in terms of Max Payne 1, I can see it, but Max Payne 3, get hit the gym, Mr. Quaid. Um,
yeah.
but I know he said he wants to.
To be fair, it's not uncommon for actors to bulk up for a
Yeah.
particular role. I know Bradley Cooper has done that for a couple roles. So
Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. Oh yeah. Listen, I have faith Jack Quaid cannot be typecasted because if Robert Pattinson can escape the Twilight movies by showcasing his range, Jack Quaid can do the same.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, because
Because
like
like,
that's one of the things about, and this is something that we can do probably another episode about, but it's like when actors, when they're typecast, it's like, or until you see them in a specific role, you can't really tell whether or not, for sure, whether
mm-hmm.
or not they would be good or not in a specific role. I mean, didn't, when Hugh Jackman first was cast as Wolverine, like, wasn't there a lot of people that weren't happy about that? But then it's like nowadays, it's like people don't want anybody else in the role.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think
And,
so.
and another example is when, but a lot of people don't remember this, but when Daniel Craig was first cast as James Bond, there was a
Mm.
lot of backlash and a lot of people like, why are they casting this guy to be James Bond? Some of it was for stupid reasons, like people were complaining because he had blonde hair, he couldn't be James Bond. It was really stupid. But nowadays you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who would tell you that Daniel Craig wasn't a good James Bond.
I've only seen one James Bond movie and a little bit of the one where like one of the villains dies from like liquid nitrogen. So I'm not the James Bond expert. I'll leave that to you.
Well, still, my point is that you truly don't know until you see the actor in that role. So with
Yeah.
Jack Quaid, it's like whether or not he'd be good in a more serious role. is a bit of a, it's kind of anyone's guess, you know.
Yeah.
But I would certainly love to see it because we won't
Yeah.
know until we see it.
I do hope Jack Quaid like looks into more roles, but because like again, he is a good actor, and I pray he doesn't get typecasted because
Well, it
I know
also,
that happens.
it also depends on his agent too, I would imagine, because it's this
Yeah,
agent who is like signing all these deals and stuff.
that's
Because
true.
it's the
And
agents that are getting them work. So,
that's true. I know. I know Jack Quaid said he wanted to be a producer on a Portal movie, so that'd be freaking cool.
all right.
Yeah, but that's a story for another day, especially when we decide to do the back rooms. But of which I will explain after this podcast. Maybe my viewers will understand what I'm talking about if they pay attention to film news. Um, but yeah, but again, I feel like we kept bringing up Jack Quaid because this was definitely his movie. He was the main star. He's on all the marketing and posters, and he nailed it. He freaking nailed it.
And his face is on my 4K Blu-ray of the movie. So,
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Quaid, I tip my hat to you, and I might just write you a card in crayon like they did at the end of the movie. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I like that. It's kind of tied back to the conversation earlier between Nathan Kane and the detective when they were on the
oh yeah.
phone.
Yep. Yeah. And also, I like how he's Nathan Jack Quaid. Like he's more confident now. Like he's more confident. He's actually eating cherry pie. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, I thought maybe he actually bit his tongue and he started bleeding. But I like to go with the optimism of this movie is that he's actually now eating more foods and that aren't just like liquid. He's actually eating more
Oh God!
solids.
At the end, when he was eating that pie, I was 100% expecting him to bite his tongue,
Mm. Maybe in
but
a
then it
deleted
didn't.
scene.
But then he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad. I don't know if I was like open to interpretation or not, but I want to keep this movie's I want to keep the optimistic message of this movie that don't be afraid and have some courage regardless of your conditions or whatnot, and that Jack Quaid did not that Nathan Kane did not bite his tongue. I like maybe I don't know maybe I'm just coping, but I like to
You
think
know
it's
what?
I like
That gets me thinking about kind of like the overall message of this movie. Because I remember you asked me earlier in this podcast about whether or not it glorifies his condition. I kind of think the main message of this movie is to not let your disabilities, your conditions, or whatever hold you back from what you can do.
hell yeah.
So I kind of think, if anything, this movie very looks very well upon people with any sort of like medical conditions or disabilities or whatever, because it's like, don't let those hold you back from what you think you can do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and I
and
kind
don't
of
let
think
the fine.
that's at least my main takeaway from this movie, I would say.
Dude, that is such an optimistic message. I like that. Yeah, don't let your medical or conditions or disabilities define you. That is you said it best, man. You said it best. And one last thing I want to say: as happy as I am to see us in theaters, listen, this was such a great movie to see in theaters, and I definitely understand. I definitely kind of smirked when he said, like, "Man, I wish I saw this movie in the theaters." So, for context, do you know there's a series? There was a time where movies like they always have like messages from the directors and cast members saying, "Hey, we're the cast of such and such. Thank you so much for watching this movie in theaters. We hope you have fun watching it and whatnot." Like, I know they did that for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sonic Movie 3. This movie freaking did it, and they had Jack Quaid, the girl who played Sherry, and the guy and Roscoe. And let's just say that movie gave away who Roscoe was.
Oh man.
Like you didn't see this in the theater, so like who did you expect Roscoe would be? Who would you expect him to look like?
I don't really have an expectation for it to look like. I thought he would just be a voiceover on the phone the whole time. But then when he's like, "Hey," I was expecting some like really some really like not huge looking dude, but some like physically capable dude.
Yeah.
Like some like uh I'm trying to think of the words to say it, but some guy who you could just tell is like physically capable. Maybe they're
Yeah,
not like,
the
you know, so
everyman.
so yeah, yeah. So or maybe somebody who looks closer to like those bank robbers, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I was thinking like something similar to like Ryan Gosling because he's kind of the everyman.
Yeah, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But so when like it revealed it was be like Jacob, what's his name? I'm just gonna call the guy who plays Ned Leeds. What was your thoughts on that?
Wait, ask me the question again. Sorry.
What were your thoughts on the guy when the guy finally came on screen? What'd you think about that? Since you obviously
All,
had it
all,
surprise you.
all I could think of was, where have I seen this guy before?
Yeah, that was
Where have
Ned
I seen this
Leeds.
guy before? So, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like
But then again, once I actually saw what he looked like, it made perfect sense when you think about it. He was the guy who Nathan met on the internet. Like, what do you
ah
expect?
yeah, because the guy kept typing himself as a handsome guy who rides a Harley, and
Yeah.
he has like a bunch of girls after him. And really, he's
Dude, you know
just
people on the internet like to exaggerate what they actually have.
oh 100% yes. Do you think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Yes.
I wonder if you knew I was quoting Arthur.
I was gonna say, like, have you seen Wikipedia? Have you seen social media in
Yes,
general?
I've seen social media. I have seen people on Twitter do it all the time. Yeah. My gosh, but I was just wondering because like it definitely kind of got it. Just like I appreciate it was kind of cool when movies did that. Just made you like, hey, thank you so much for watching this in theaters. But just like, man, if I knew Ned Leeds was in this movie, I would have probably been more. I probably would have laughed more at Roscoe's reveal than I did than I mean, every other joke. I mean, real quick about the comedy. Like, the jokes felt more situational. Like, of Nathan Kane being this. It's like to quote the G-Man from Half-Life 2. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. If that makes any sense.
Yep. Makes sense to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Novocaine. It was a blast. It was super fun, and it's crazy. Honestly, like I feel like I could have easily dismissed this movie as like a typical action movie that just doesn't do anything special to set the world on fire. But it it actually does a lot of things so right that there's so much substance in this movie that I think hopefully, even though it didn't do well at the box office, I can see people listing this in like their favorite action movies. What about you, Drew?
I don't know if I would list it as one of my favorite action movies, but it's definitely a movie I liked a lot.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if it's because of one of the few movies I saw in the
Like
theaters
to
last.
me, like
Sorry, you first.
to me, like my favorite action movies of all time are movies like Die Hard, Casino Royale,
Uh,
things like that. It's like I don't think this movie Novocaine is as good as those, but at the same time, I think it's a really good movie. So
I agree. I mean, it's definitely not my favorite, but it's one I keep thinking about so much because of just how fun it is and how like for me, and we can make this could be a whole dissection episode. But like, I like movies with good characters, and don't get me wrong, action movies also need to have good action too. But characters for me are like a driving point in any story, and even movies that aren't like too special or anything. I think I think about from the characters, like Nathan Kane, the kind dorky dude, just finds himself in an action movie situation, like this movie I feel like I'm gonna keep thinking a lot back on this movie now. Like at first when I first saw it in theaters, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a fun movie, that was a blast, it was fun. Now I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it still is a fun movie and a blast, but the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, that is awesome, that is so freaking cool, like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely watch Novocaine if you haven't, because I know a lot of people didn't watch Novocaine in the theaters because yeah, unfortunately it didn't make its money back, but hey, Novocaine's freaking awesome.
Yep.
Anyways, this has been another episode of the Movie Morris podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music or Amazon Music. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on, once again, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. Follow those as well. Also follow the socials on Blue Sky and Twitter, now called X. And
It's called Twitter. It's called Twitter. I will not be calling it X. It's called Twitter. In the video descriptions, I call it Twitter. In the podcast descriptions, I call it Twitter. It is Twitter. I don't care what Elon Musk says. It's Twitter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow the socials, follow us on all the platforms, so you can kindly take us with you. Kindly take this podcast with you on whatever road trips, and hopefully not a bank robbery. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a good day, and don't hurt yourself.